Hey, what's going on, guys? My name's Caesar, and I'm back with another video with Smocter for the last potential video of Monster Hunter Wilds for the foreseeable future. And yes, today, AT Arkveld. Now, depending on how this is going to be edited, you've probably seen us absolutely get raped by our primal footage and our raw reactions. But we are now doing a post-com because we both took runs and actually defeated them separately. And we're going to do a little bit of dissection. Yes, ow, indeed. So, to start things off, this fight is everything I wanted Guardian Arkveld to be and more. I will be very honest, and I think Germs can attest to this. I have been advocating a high-ranked Guardian fight in Wilds. And oh my god, did they deliver. I mean, like, it was... Arkveld was crazy enough. The ATs were crazy as hell. To make AT Arkveld the only original 10-star monster at the starting rank should set the precedent very fucking clear that this monster is a different ballpark entirely. And I love it. As much as he was a pain in the ass, as much as he hurts, as much as he's ridiculously difficult, the Guardian gimmick's fun. The fact that he can heal wounds is kind of out in left field, but it's interesting difficulty-wise. And I honestly think that was a great idea to do for Arkveld in general, because that was it was literally AT Guardian Arkveld, quite literally. A high-ranked Guardian Arkveld fight pushed to its extreme.
It's been no secret that I have agreed with Fred that having both Guardian Arkveld and Zoshia initially being only just this one-off fight and it's done was kind of a disservice, and I really don't like it when something is only utilized once as a story thing and then just kind of forgotten about, kind of just thrown against the wayside. So seeing Arc-Tempered Arkveld bring back Guardian Arkveld in essence, I will agree, same thing. It was refreshing. It was nice. Obviously, anytime we fight these new monsters and we have a problem, it is always going to be frustrating. And the hardest part is, for me anyway, is taking my frustration out of that and then analyzing the fight based on, did I enjoy it or not? To answer that question, I am happy that they utilized Guardian Arkveld in this way. I am very happy about that, and I will agree that was a good idea. However, the regenerative wounding mechanic of you could lose the wounds is not the worst idea. And
well, the normal Guardians do that anyway.
Yeah. And so, I fight the normal Guardians all the time, but the fact that his got even faster as you fight him, that was a little much, in my opinion. But it didn't ruin the fight for me. As you guys can see, I ran this with Gun Lance, as you can see on my end.
And I'm running with Dual Blades on my end.
Yeah. So, in essence, we're doing two very different fights. We're fighting the same monster, but it's very, very different. Mine is based on patience. I was not being aggressive unless he was knocked down, and even then, I sometimes paid for it. But mine is very patience, based blocking everything. Now, I had max constitution, so realistically, I could take all of his hits, and there's no problem, because my stamina is not going anywhere. But even with that, he would punish me when I got too aggressive. And with Gun Lance, you shouldn't be doing that anyway. So,
right. And I was a lot more of the aggressive one. I was relying on counters. I was relying on the support hunters that that I accidentally got thrown into because when we tried recording this, I got DC'd and actually got support hunters on the run I completed. So thanks, Germs. But yeah, honestly, like I'm a lot more aggressive, and you can see that in the fighting footage. Because I think out of our runs, I was the only one who died in our completing runs. And I want to say I died
Yeah.
twice. And I didn't have insurance. So that should set the precedent. So, yeah, again, two very different fighting styles, as you have mentioned. But at the end of the day, the fact that we both completed it obviously works. The wounding gimmick is a little bit, I think, overblown, but I don't hate it. And there was some things on Reddit that I was looking at, and I can't confirm or deny, but it kind of was weird. There's one Reddit comment that I saw that was saying that Guardian or not Guardian, AT Arkfeld throws in the elemental absorption onto from your weapons, which I'm not sure if that's true. I want to say it's not, but there was a lot of times where I would be attacking the tendrils or the blades, and I would see the effect of his absorption taking place when I hit it. Now, again, that's probably coincidence, but I don't know. So I'll just leave that in here just in case it is a thing or not. But yeah. And honestly, with the fact that me and you are very different fighting styles, I think our difference in times was only by 4 minutes.
Yeah. Well,
but unfortunately, we both also went over 30 minutes to kill him.
Yeah. Well, and my biggest complaint, like I was saying earlier, taking out the difficulty part of being frustrated that, we didn't get it. Like, I never expect to get these stuff first try. But at least by the third or fourth, I'm expecting to at least have it done. So when it takes more than that, it's no secret I get impatient. My only gripe with this fight, and this is where the regenerative wounds speeding up on how fast they regenerate really just kind of started pissing me off, was there would be times where basically he would be relenting on me nonstop, wouldn't get any hits in, and I would just be sitting there blocking everything, because if I stop blocking, I'm dead. And he just would not stop. He just kept going and going and going and going. And the NPCs were the only ones doing damage. But then I would see a wound because one of the NPCs, got one open, and then it would disappear before I could even get to it. And just that, again, I understand that's the basic Guardian mechanic, and it's just accelerated for him because he's arc-tempered. But that got really frustrating after the fourth or fifth time, where it's like my only chance for true damage is gone.
And that's where I relied more on the counters when he did a lot of his tendril moves, because then I was able to get free knockdowns.
Yeah.
So that I think that was something that, because I noticed when on your run, because I did watch Germs' run, at least the latter half, you don't seem to go after the counters as often, even if you are in front of them.
Well, and that's usually just because either A, I don't have a chance to, like I'm not in the position to trigger it, so either my weapon's put away, I'm healing, or like I don't click focus mode to see it in time.
Yeah, and to be fair, there are a few times, and I notice, I'll even notice it, like, you'll have your weapon out, and you'll be in focus mode, and it's right there in your face, and you just don't realize it.
Yeah. Well, and again, but, I may even be, like, thinking something else. I'm not noticing it, in essence.
Right.
So, but yeah.
Yeah.
So overall, the one thing I will say is, depending on how you're fighting him, it definitely makes a huge difference about who you are fighting with. So here, as you guys have already seen like 2 or 3 times, I've already power clashed him. And that's where I'm getting most of my damage out of. And that's just because I have both Elisa and Fabius. So I have people building up that power clash counter constantly. And that's what was giving me most of my damage. Now, with that being said, I feel like the power clashing also did a disservice, because you don't get a knockdown from power clashing him. You just get free damage. So take that what you will. I think Fred had it a little bit better considering he was getting knockdowns. But
Oh yeah, and just the counters.
yeah,
The counters are guaranteed like half second knockdowns or something like that. It's very quick, but yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, moving on from the fight as well, which you can see in the background from both our videos, and we both are recording our own fight perspectives, so be sure to look at both our videos for this post-com. But I think music was amazing. I do like the new AT Arkveld theme. That is a banger. Honestly, that is great. I'm not sure. I remember sending you the video. I'm not sure if you remember
Yeah,
listening to
I
that.
have I have not listened to it yet. Still,
Yeah, so that's a banger. I think him kind of again, it's Arkveld's high rank ability turn up to 11 in the Guardian Arkveld story queues. I think is an amazing idea. Um, the armor. This is probably a hot take from both of us, but I kind of feel like the armor was a little underwhelming. I mean, it's a great armor set. Don't get me wrong. I liked it. I like it. I just for the monster that we fought for it, I just felt like it didn't quite hit hard enough as a good armor set or as an amazing armor set. For me, at least. I'm not sure how you feel about it.
no, I would say I probably actually agree. Just because of two reasons. One, I understand that this is, 6th gen of Monster Hunter, and things are going to be massively different in previous gens because they've learned, where their mistakes were and all that. But
Yeah.
if you take something like World and Iceborne, endgame World armor, like if you maxed it out, could carry you almost pretty much halfway, if not almost towards the Guiding Lands end of Master Rank, if you really optimize. But even at base, when I was in my maxed out high rank armor in World and I got Iceborne, I managed to get all the way to Tigrex before I had to upgrade. Now in Rise, you had Velstrax. And Velstrax, due to his ability on his armor set, you had 500 defense, which actually got me, at least, all the way to Garen Golem when me and Fred first ran through Sunbreak. And then we got Garen Golem armor. So
Yeah.
Garen Golem was like what,
That was
3-star?
we kind of started.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was
MR
3-star.
3, yeah, something like that.
Yeah. So with this set,
we got called a lot of time for that.
yeah, I know. But so for this set though, I do agree. It kind of was underwhelming. I understand a lot of people love Flare if they're relying on wound mechanics because Flare just makes it so much easier to inflict a wound and do massive damage. And then obviously having max agitator is always nice, so you don't have to worry about slotting it in. But I do agree, just for the challenge and the crap you have to go through just to fight this asshole, it was a little underwhelming. Now, if they had given us a special skill of something where it's like, oh, you can pop a wound twice before it finally goes away, that would have made it worth it.
Yeah. And I see, and this is kind of one of the things where, and I'm not sure how other people are going to feel about this. I was more excited when I got the special greatsword that was for the event quest for Title Update 5 than I think when I got AT Arkveld's armor unlocked. It was like looking at it.
Yeah, and the other thing I will say is, obviously, it's been a long time since me or Fred have actually fought Guardian Arkveld, because we completed the story pretty freaking fast.
Yeah, we got the story done, I think, in a week.
Yeah.
Or something like that. We did it really fast.
Yeah. And to be fair, Wilds, kind of expects that from you. I think they learned a lot when it comes to both World and Rise, but mostly Rise, that these monsters aren't just monsters, like they are characters in essence. and how you treat them is how they're received in the community. So,
Mm-hmm.
Arkveld being the focus of the story, even just making it the low rank story monster. Even with that, like you feel respect for him. So fighting this AT doesn't feel like, oh, I'm just fighting another monster. It's like, no, I am fighting the focus of this area,
Yeah.
Wyveria, and what started this whole journey. So
Yeah, I think in terms of story, I think this I think is a better story than what World or Rise did, because I think what sells it is the fact that Arkveld's story presence is not just you don't really fight him. You fight him several times in several different quests in several different ranks,
yeah,
which really sets that kind of grudge match feel that you get when fighting these flagships. Magnum Malo, I feel like, was kind of a one and done thing.
yeah,
And then Nurg, you kind of get a teaser for him in low rank, but you don't really fight him till high rank, and he doesn't show up a whole lot in the low rank stuff. I feel like Arkfeld, especially with its AT now, this is like the proper climax of this kind of grudge match that Arkveld's story presented. Because even when you fight Zoshia, you don't stop thinking about Arkfeld because the
yeah,
comparisons between the two are so evident,
yeah.
and it's almost scary.
Well,
And then
and
you obviously then have the high rank conclusion to Arkveld's story where you learn, obviously spoilers, that you learn that they revert back to the base species,
yeah.
which is insane to think about.
Well, and
But
and the biggest thing with him too is, the whole start of this being that he wasn't even supposed to be behaving the way he was. Like, the
right,
Guardian
and it was
Arkveld,
because of Zoshia's anomaly. Yeah,
yeah. Guardian Arkveld in and of himself, he was supposed to be just a Guardian in terms of like he's around and it. The fact that he turns into this hunting monstrous like, you know, thing that's going on a rampage, again, you just feel this sense of dread and respect where it's like, okay, this is not, oh, we're fixing a problem. It's, oh, we're fighting changes to a creature's habit as well as its true nature in essence. It's
right. And
designed.
I think our but like I think and I think our reactions in those episodes when we kind of learn more about the story with especially with Arkfeld and you can hear it in our voices that we're not expecting a story like this at
Yeah.
all from Monster Hunter at all, and and I think the payoff was absolutely top tier, especially now with AT Arkfeld.
Yeah. I, despite the frustration of not getting him done after like the fourth or fifth attempt, I was happy with how the fight turned out. Glad he got some new moves. You guys have seen it on my end at least a couple of times. I imagine you've seen it on Fred's end, but his launching move that he got of just flailing his entire body around with his whips, like
Oh
that
yeah, the
move.
X spin.
Yeah,
Yeah. Oh my
that
god,
move
that thing
is
is
not
mental.
what I wanted to see at all, but I am so happy it's a thing.
Dude, I'll be honest, probably TMI, but my whole body shrivels when he does that move because I'm not ready for it. I ain't ready for that move, no matter how much I look at it. It's not good.
Yeah, so I was not expecting that. I'm not saying it's a bad move, but it was not what I wanted to see, just for multiple reasons. But, I mean,
Yeah.
like you guys have seen, again, on my end, if you guys are watching my end, again, my stamina has not reached 0. At this moment in time, I am now at orange sharpness. So the biggest problem right now is damage. But my stamina has been fine. But seeing that X thing, I don't know if you guys have been noticing, but if you want to go back in this recording, you should notice that every time he does that X move, my stamina gets neutered. Like, I still don't hit 0, I'm still fine, but that does so much freaking damage.
Oh my god, yeah, dude. I think in the initial reaction, I got one shot by that thing in the initial footage. It was not okay.
Like,
But yeah, so I kind of going forward. If you guys have seen the video from the Monster on YouTube's and other pages, they mentioned that we'll be getting um, at least some info about Wild's Ultimate come summer. And I'll be honest, I am looking forward to see what we get for news because that after AT Arkveld, I am very curious to see what they're going to do with Arkveld for mastering because it's kind of tradition at this point that Arkveld and the flagships in the base game get some kind of variant for the Wilds
Yeah.
expansion, for the expansion of the game. And that's been a thing forever, pretty much. I think since the first game. So I'm very curious to see how Arkveld's going to change up in Master Rank and with their new versions.
I mean, my biggest thing is like if Arkveld's naturally dragon essentially, I wouldn't mind seeing like not so much just like another dragon version, but I wouldn't mind seeing something like a fire version just for funsies.
What makes it weird, and this is something that the last two base world or the last two fifth gen games did, was that they both used monsters that were kind of nomadic, and they're kind of all over the place, at least in terms of their lore. And the variants didn't really change anything up; they just expanded on the gimmicks.
Yeah.
Like Ruiner had the second set of spikes. Scorned added the dragon phase, even though it was pretty limited in his fight. So I'm curious what it, or what would be more hilarious is if they actually used Guardian Arkfeld and made that an official variant.
I mean, that would be
That's
nice.
hilarious.
Oh,
Yeah, but anyway, I think that's enough of a fanboyism, at least for now. But yeah, overall, I think in terms of difficulty scaling of the ATs, I'm gonna put AT Arkfeld as like the second most difficult. Like in terms of us taking time to do it, us fighting it, just the difficulty and understanding how to do this. I think he was the second most difficult in my opinion, behind AT Uduna.
yeah. I kind of blocked ATU Thuna out of my memory until Fred had reminded me about it. Realistically, though, like other than the major body slam AT does, I think honestly
Mm-hmm.
the worst thing was the waves doing all the damage. So putting that aside,
Yeah.
I still would say just due to trial and error, I'd probably agree that ATU Thuna was the hardest, just because of gimmicks and other things. And ATR Veil is probably the second hardest. Um, but I may be misremembering this, but after AT Uth, all the other ATs took us at least a day or two to beat, didn't they?
I think the other three took us the same day recording session.
Okay.
Because from my understanding, because I'll do my scaling here, and you can judge if you want to. So I think the easiest AT for me was AT Raydal,
Yep.
hands down. That was the easiest one for us. Then AT Jin, AT New Udra, and all those three we did in a single day recording. And then it obviously be AT Arkfeld and AT Uth. Those two were the only ones we had to do multiple day recordings for.
Okay.
But yeah, that's my power scaling. Ray is the easiest, followed by Jin, New Udra, Arkfeld, Uth.
Yeah. I probably wouldn't change that list too much, to be honest.
Yeah. To be fair, all five of them are challenging, and I shudder to see what a 10-star AT Ray would do to me. But I think in terms of when they came out and how difficult they were, that's kind of my ranking.
Yeah. Um, I did also want to take this opportunity to say something in recording because I think we actually have talked about this. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but at this point, just so you guys know, we both have also killed Omega. Because I know that
Yes.
we both failed at that one at first, and then later on we did end up doing it. I'm not going to spend the rest of
Yes.
this video talking about Omega, but all I'm going to say is I do not like that fight at all. I I understand that I have major problems when it comes to gimmick fights where you have to keep track of something specific, and I hate those more than anything. I I've never agreed that they have a place here in Monster Hunter. You should never have to meet damage checks to get stuff to go. Just always found that a stupid concept, but that's just due to the fact that I'm inexperienced with them, and because I don't know how to handle them, I suck at them, which I'm willing to admit. But that's why I hate them. Is if it's something I can't improve on, I'm going to dislike it, and I'm allowed to do that. But as of this moment in time, Omega is also dead. Um, so we have
Yes.
killed everyone at least one.
Yes, and I will chime in. Omega, I'll be honest. It's probably just because I don't tend to like crossover quests all that much, no matter what game I'm playing. But Omega seems really difficult, which is fine. But again, it kind of falls into that similar trap with Behemoth and Leshen for me. Though I feel like Omega does this gimmick a lot better than Behemoth and Leshen
Yeah. Um.
by a country mile.
Yeah, I agree. As someone who did play both Behemoth, Leshen, and Ancient Leshen, and defeated all of them on my first run through a world, I beat all of them. And my main problem with Behemoth was the meteor gimmick. It just was really stupid and really dumb. And I hated the fact that you could technically even faint in the tent, which I think got fixed in Iceborne. But that was just the dumbest thing on the planet. Um, or that you could be across the map when he nukes and you still faint. And it's like, eh. Anyway, but yeah, just I have to agree. A lot of these event quests don't do well with me because a lot of them seem really stupid and geared towards oh, you want a gimmick fight where you have to be, picture perfect. Here's this. But I do agree with Fred's sentiment. I think Omega handled it a little bit better, and it's not as hard driven focused as if you're not perfect, you die. Um, yes, I capped him. I didn't kill him, which I was just so done with everything at the moment. Shoot me. All right.
Okay, then just find a
And
place to play the video while we do an outro, so you don't have to worry about that blank space.
yeah. All right. Ready for our outro.
All right, so once again to say this, we're gonna get some news from Wilds in the summer for Wilds Ultimate, which will be nice to hear. But in terms of till then, if you guys haven't noticed, or if, I guess, yeah, if you guys haven't noticed, we have been playing through Wild Hearts a lot, and as of recording this video, we are done with Wild Hearts at least for now. There is another video coming, but I'm not sure how long that's going to take. And then starting, what is it, like March or something like that, we are playing through World and Rise again, officially on camera for the first time. So look forward to those two series coming out. We'll probably do a little bit more. We'll do some Stories 3 content as well. I'm not sure how long that will go. But yeah, we have a lot of stuff coming this year. This year is a lot about Monster Hunter, and I don't think either of us have any qualms about that. So, but anyway,
I have one thing also to say because I did have someone message me on YouTube about our Wild Hearts video about funny enough about Gold Shard. Um, if he had asked, are we planning on playing any other EA games in terms of things like Shadow of the Colossus or things like that? I don't even know if Shadow of the Colossus is EA. The simple answer is no. As of right now, no. As Fred said, we are planning on doing a Monster Hunter run for the next probably foreseeable future. If that changes, we will let you guys know.
Or we'll just have random videos pop up, you know.
Yeah.
Either way works.
Either way.
But yeah, anyway, so hope you guys did enjoy this long ass conclusion video and post-com. If you guys did, make sure to like button down below, subscribe for more for our channels if you're new. And until our next Wilds video, which could be not even until 2027 at the earliest, we'll see you guys in the next video. Ta-ta.
Bye. Oh shit.